Hi, you may remember in the last video we were burning the old bushes out of the suspension arms. And we took a suspension arm like that and I turned it into something like that. So today I want to try and fit them, but before I do that I've got to get the old stuff off. And that's going to be a challenge. There must be 7 or 8, 9 bolts, and I reckon every single one of them is going to be rusted. So worst comes to worst, I'll cut them off. Don't really want to do that. I thought it might be interesting, rather than like send you a whole video full of me swearing a curtain at a bolt, I might take some sort of time lapse or something, and we'll set a timer and see how long it actually takes me to get these bolts off. As I said, this is all about real world stuff rather than it looks nice on the bench. So let's just see how long that takes. It can't take too long because I've got an MOT very shortly, so it needs to be drivable. Right, along the way, I've been busy, as usual for me. I've usually got a few things on the go. So while we've got the suspension off and the bottom arms and everything, I thought I may as well change the discs. So I've got a new set of discs and pads to go on. We've got a console off because my gear gator was absolutely ruined, so there's a new one from ILL Motorsport. We got speakers out, the door panels off because one of them was broken. And somewhere else, there we go, I've got my console drinks cup, call it what you will. I think there's a little insert inside. So I had the console out as well, which is that one. It's only a few screws, so it's dead easy. You see what happens with this, look, when I drive. That flops up and bangs on your elbow, which is lovely. So we'll do that as well at some point. I may or may not do videos of that because it's a bit easy, to be honest. Anyway, let's crack on and I'll show you where I'm going to start working on the car. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. As you can see, I've wax oiled it. I didn't think I'd be getting around to this so soon, to be totally honest, so that's an added complication because obviously it covers all the bolts. Yeah, some of these are quite tucked away, although it's only a few bolts. They're a bit awkward to get to. So one of them is down here, there. The other two are buried here and there at the back. As well as that, I think we'll have to take the suspension out. There's 2 bolts in the engine bay for that, and then also this one has to come off. That's for the upper arm, and then I guess there's one down there for the bottom arm somewhere. Yeah, I can feel it there. So there's one there as well. After that, we've got this one here. Yeah, they're not very easy to see in here. It's going to be a bit tight. But the first thing I'm going to do, I think, is take all this plastic off the wheel. Well, get rid of that. Keep that for later. And then, while I'm at it, I'll have the rusty back plate off the disc as well. May as well sort that. Okay, wish me luck. Better add a tie rod end to the bill. Okay, by doing that, I've been able to get myself a bit better access to my next nut. That one there. Okay, it's out. Look at the state of that shock push. That's more than one MOT in there, so I reckon it's been like that. That would be an MOT failure for the last 3 years or so, looking at the state of it, and nobody's wanted to deal with it because of the work involved, and I suspect all of them are exactly the same. Okay, let's move my light and give it a friendly tap. This is going to work. It's off. Didn't have to cut it as it turned out. Right. Okay, what now? This is the next bolt. That one. The ball joint. Look at the state of the nut. There's no point even trying to get that unseized. More cutting. So I'm doing the same as before I was on the last one. I'll cut most of the bolt off, hack it out with a hammer and chisel, and then make a 90-degree cut to the one I'm making now against what's left of the nut. That'll take the outer part off, and that'll leave me the core then, which I can drift out. At least that's the plan. So as well as removing the resistance, that the cutting has given a lot of heat off, and I don't know if you can make it out there, but there's basically like I've created a slot right the way across the bolt and what's left of the nut. And I'm going to put my chisel in there and smash it round, smash the outside nut round. That'll unscrew the bolt, and then I'm going to drift the bolt out. My next target. This one's going to be slightly more awkward. I tried to do it properly with a spanner and I just rounded the nut off in seconds. So I'm going in vertically on this one, mainly because there's not enough room to do it horizontally. And then I'm going to have to try and chisel off the rest. Okay, so this one's proven a pain. I'm actually starting to bend the upper arm now because I'm using this. I need to rethink. I just can't get the axis in there to get a cut. I'd hope to restore these suspension arms, but I don't think that's happening now because I've just killed the pressed ball joint. So there's something here that's just not fair. I've got my wire at a crazy angle where I look for the ABS. I really can't let it go any tighter. I've got all the ball joint off there. It's nice way. I've got something to rest it all on when it comes out. Giving this a good bash, the ball joint, and then I spot down there is a nut. Great. So I'm going to take the upper arm is broken anyway now, so I'm going to just angle grind that off, get the suspension out, and that'll get me to that nut down there. But I'm starting to think actually it'd be easier to cut this one off because I've got to take the hub off anyway because I'm replacing this bit obviously. So I'm going to take the suspension out, angle grind the suspension arm off, and see how I go. Right, so that's the upper arm out of the way. If we go up to the top, that's the engine. Just so you can see, some of you will know what you're looking at there. And then down in here, 1, 2 are the only bolts that haven't given me any trouble so far. The two either side of the top mount, so I'll take them out next. And it's out. So there we go. So right now, I expect some people might be saying, oh, you don't need to do all that, you don't need to do all that. Well, the thing is, I'm thinking about rebuilding the whole lot anyway, like, as you can see, it doesn't matter what I take off, it's all ruined. I think I will probably just get the hub off next, support that somewhere, and just keep working into the car until eventually I get to the bolts I want to get to, with a lot more room to work around them. One of the things I'm thinking about now, though, with the angle grinding, just cutting right into them, just getting this bottom arm cut off and then dealing with the bolts because I'll get even closer then. Just see, I'm not going to save them, so just see why not, might be quicker. By the time I had a break, I put the socket on this and it's coming out. But it's coming out with a lot of force. If I'm out of breath in these videos, it's because of this. I'm literally doing a reverse row at full tilt to try and get this out. That was the stiffest bolt I've ever undone on a car. Oh, that's saying something. This is the frontmost lower suspension arm bolt, so I've just hacked that off. I'm hoping again to drift this out. This one next. I'll be well chuffed if I can get that off before I have to go. Only one problem. When I take this off, this arm is going to fall. I've just got to make sure that weight of hub doesn't fall on my bit. We're nearly through. You could just about see the outline of the bolt where the nut used to be that I'm grinding away. It's all about holding your nerve at this distance from the angle grinder. There's no way you can put a pair of goggles on, you couldn't see a thing anyway, so it's a case of like make sure it's lined up, close your eyes and open them occasionally while you're grinding. And we're through. Out in seconds again. Don't believe it. I literally just gave it a tap, I didn't even have to drift it. Okay, that should be it. There we go. Done. Come on, we have to have an artist impression. That's what it'll look like. A bit multicoloured. A bit like Noddy's car. So that's it for today. I'm out of time. Based on that, that's going to take me another 3/4 of a day or so to get the upper one off and hopefully start putting something back together. But we'll see. But I've got the other side to do yet as well, so the MOT might have to wait at this rate. Yeah, anyway, I hope that was informative. There's a couple of things to watch out for. Try and cover your face when you're angle grinding, because mine feels like there's loads of tiny needles in it. I'm going to go and remove them with a magnet now and give myself a bit of a wash. Obviously watch out for your hands, so I cut my hand once, but that's not so bad, it's only a little scratch. Yeah, so till next time and all the rest of it. Be interested to know what you think. It's the first time I've worked on a Mazda. I've restored Mustang 835, I've worked on plenty of Minis and any other cars that have come my way since, but this is new to me, and the size and the scale of everything is a lot heavier than what I'm used to. So when I start putting my back into it in the torque wrench, I'm really giving it like this. So that's new. It just reminds me to make sure I torque all this stuff up properly. I'm not dealing with something I can just kind of like lift off the ground if I feel like it, you know. Okay, till next time. See you later. Bye.